What's up guys? Welcome to the Walker's Vintage YouTube channel. Today we have an awesome video for you. This is gonna be about how to get a good lead sound. Quick disclaimer before we start. This is based on our opinion on how to get that sound. If you think it should be done differently, let us know down below in the comments and hopefully you'll be able to get some good tips out of this. So let's start out by talking about the gear that we picked. This guitar is a Fender Vintera 50s, finished in Fiesta red. The specs of the guitar are more on the vintage side. It has a big chunky neck with a 7 1/4 radius and small vintage frets, and also a maple board. It plays really well, it's very smooth, and it sounds incredible. I am running it also through a Vox AC15. This is a 15-watt tube amp that has a master volume, and that feature will help us really get to that point. We'll explain in a minute. And then finally, the pedals that we'll be using are the Electro-Harmonix Memory Man Deluxe, the Wampler Tumnus, the Rockett Steampunk, and finally the JHS Crimson Big Muff style Fuzz. The secret to get a lead tone starts with your amp. You need to have a tone that is on the edge of breakup. If you haven't heard of that term before, it's basically when an amp starts to generate saturation or distortion. It's that edge where you can really change the gain of your sound based on how dynamically you're playing. If you dig in, you're gonna get more gain. If you play softer, you're gonna be on the cleaner side. With this Vox, we have done that right now. We have dialed in the volume and then the master volume to get those settings. And then we're using pedals to push the amp over the edge of breakup, giving us that tone. Now, the main reason why we have so many different pedals here is because of the way the electric guitar is designed. So whether you have a Strat, a Les Paul, a Tele, or anything else, you're gonna notice a severe difference between the tone of the neck pickup and the bridge. The neck is always gonna be a little bit warmer, less highs, a little bit more bass. And then the bridge tends to be brighter, less low end, cuts a little bit more. Now, if you wanna solo using both, you might find that using one drive pedal might not really cut it. Because if you set it up to sound great on the neck pickup, then your bridge might be a little too bright, and vice versa. If you set it up for the bridge, your neck might be a little too boomy and dull sounding. So the solution to that is to use different types of boost or drive pedals. In this case, we have the Rockett Steampunk for the neck. That's a full frequency boost pedal that basically just pushes all of your frequencies up. If you were to use those same settings on the bridge, it would be a little too harsh, especially in a guitar like this, a Telecaster, that has very little bass and a lot of high end, and it would sound a little bit too shrill. Then for the bridge pickup, I'm using the Wampler Tumnus, which is a clone style of pedal, which means that the EQ of those type of pedals push more the mid section of the EQ frequency, so more mids and low mids, which is where the fatness really is, and that's what you want for really a bridge pickup, and especially again one like this, like a Tele. You don't want to push those highs. You don't want your bass to really show up too much. You want that mid-focused tone that is just going to help you cut straight through the band mix. Let's just hear first our clean sound, guitar straight into the amp and no pedals. You can hear the sound, it's pretty hot. I mean, it has quite a lot of gain. It's more on the distorted side of the edge, but you can really change that with your volume control too. If you want a cleaner sound, you can always dial it back just a tiny bit and then control how hard you're hitting it to get more or less gain. Now, let's hear the bridge pickup with the Tumnus. fat, pretty juicy, it cuts through. And by the way, if you hear a hint of delay, that's coming from the Memory Man. Again, I'm using that just to get it a little bit juicier sounding. I feel like the delay just blended on a minimal setting just helps you fatten up your tone a lot more. Let's hear it without it so you can hear the difference. Now with. Now let's hear the neck pickup with the Steampunk boost. It sounds awesome. It's very juicy and just fast sounding for a neck pickup. But if we were to use those same exact settings on the bridge, here's how it would sound like. I mean, it's blowing out my ears. It's just very eye-speaky and bright. Now, if we try the Tumnus, you're gonna hear a lot less high-end and just more of like a mid-focus sound. However, if you use the Tumnus with these exact settings on the neck pickup, it's not gonna sound that great either. Sounds a little muffled and nasally and just doesn't have enough brightness to cut through. That's the reason why we have two different pedals for each pickup, and then each one is dialed in to get the best sound depending on what you really want. If you want more of like a Hendrixy, Stevie Ray sound, go to your neck pickup and boost it. Then if you want a fatter bridge tone that is just gonna cut through and sound not shrill but just fat and punchy, then try something like this Overdrive pedal. Then what about if you don't have the budget or maybe the pedal board real estate to add more pedals in it and you rather have to go with one? So we have chosen this JHS Crimson, which is based on a big muff pedal. Pedals like this, they change your EQ radically regardless of what pickup position you're in. They're not transparent at all. They have a very unique sound that happens to work great with both pickups. Let's hear how that sounds like. Now, to summarize it again, all you need is a tube amp running on the edge of BREAKUP and then different pedals set up to match whatever pickup you're planning on soloing on. Then if you add a tiny bit of delay, that's the final ingredient just to get that great lead tone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to get all this gear, they're listed down below in our description. You can get them in our website, waltkersvintage.com. Also, if you're ever in Miami, make sure to swing by our gallery. We're located in the area of Wynwood. We have cars, guitars, and coffee. So definitely something you don't want to miss out on. My name is Sebastian, and I'll see you in the next one.